What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing Game 4 of the NBA Finals between the Indiana Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder. And man, has this series been a up and down roller coaster. We've had, situations where you see role players come and be pushed into more of a starring role. Guys like Obi Toppin and things like that, Ben Mathurin. And we've seen guys like Alex Caruso show that veteran presence in this series. But in Game 4, honestly, it looked like the Oklahoma City Thunder were dead in the water at times in this game. They just looked like a team that was going to succumb to the pressure defensively made by the Indiana Pacers. And that's what they were doing. I mean, in the beginning of the game, right, Jalen Williams was the Oklahoma City Thunder's offense, right? You looked at what he was able to do early on in the basketball game to kind of counteract what the Pacers were doing, because the Pacers were having their moments where they were going on runs, especially from three. They were making a lot of 3-point baskets early, and it looked like the Oklahoma City Thunder just could not match that, that 3-point attack. But what I will say is, even with that being said, you seen SGA get an early, get his earlier than usual substitution, get some rest and things like that. And I was kind of like trying to see what the coach was trying to do with that substitution to get SGA out the game early. And I think that just came to be a situation where it was just situational matchups. Looking at what happened in Game 3 and the amount of pressure that the Pacers added to SGA in game number 3. You look at him being off the ball in Game 4. Also, you look at the defense from guys like Nembhard. You look at the defense that they were electing to play against SGA. And again, like I said, that first quarter, it was very, very high scoring. It was up and down. You seen a first quarter score of 35-34. So, in case of the style of play, it was exactly what, in my opinion, the Pacers wanted. They wanted it up and down style, not allowing the Oklahoma City Thunder defense to get set. And the Pacers were playing that same Game 3 game plan, in my opinion, right? They looked like a team that saw what worked and they went back to the well. That's basically what we saw in Game 4. And again, this was another close game at halftime. This wasn't a runaway victory at any moment for either team, right? You look at the second half where the Pacers started to, get their lead, 8-point lead, 9-point lead, double-digit lead. And that's when I said to myself, I said, okay, what are the Thunder going to do now? Because when the second half got underway, I didn't know what the Thunder was going to be able to do. SGA wasn't having a SGA type first half, right? He wasn't having that type of first half. But going into the second half, you started to see SGA's offense come along. You started to see, with the putting Isaiah Hartenstein back into the starting lineup to start the game, you started to see his presence make a change. You started to see, guys like Lou Dort. You started seeing things where the Thunder started playing their type of basketball. And again, like I said, Jalen Williams played absolutely phenomenal. But the Pacers still, were playing their style of game. But I feel like in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter, that's when the Thunder made their inroads into, okay, now it's time for us to make timely baskets. You've seen timely baskets made by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, timely baskets made by SGA. Even as far as going as, turnovers. You see the Pacers turned the ball over 15 times to the Thunder's 13 times. Even looking at assists, the Thunder only had 11 assists to the Pacers 21 assists. But again, like I said, when you look at everything that took shape in that game, and SGA shooting 50% from the field, 35 points. You look at Pascal Siakam with 20 points. You look at guys like Chet Holmgren with 15 rebounds. So, you look at this game in its entirety. I feel like it was won in the last waning moments of the fourth quarter. That's when you seen, the SGA start to come alive. You look at Jalen Williams' stat line. He went 8 of 18 from the field, 11 of 11 from the free throw line. He was the most aggressive player in a Oklahoma City jersey in the first half, and you see SGA just brought them home. For the Pacers, I feel like, they could have won this game. Honestly, they could have won this game, but in the second half, it started playing like a Oklahoma City Thunder style basketball game. You look at what Alex Caruso was able to do. Coach Rick Carlisle really didn't play TJ McConnell too much in the second half, and I was wondering why. TJ McConnell had a good enough first half to whereas though I thought he was going to be able to play in the second half, but unfortunately he didn't. You look at guys that were able to play for the Pacers. Like I said, Tyrese Halliburton didn't have the best game. I mean, he did have 18 points and 7 assists, but for me, I feel like for the Pacers to always have a chance to beat this Thunder team, Tyrese Halliburton is going to have to be in that, that 20, 22, 20, eclipsing 20, 22 points like that to beat this Thunder team. You look at Miles Turner, he did have 12 points, did go 0 for 6 from 3 though. Rebounding, he wasn't there, but you look at guys like Aaron Nesmith, who had a total of 9 rebounds. You look at Pascal Siakam, who had 8 rebounds. So they do crash a glass. You got a lot of help from Obi Toppin in his 29 minutes. Made a lot of timely threes. But again, like I said, towards the end of this game was playing like an Oklahoma City Thunder game, and ultimately which led to their win. And now we have a tied series 2-2. Going back to Oklahoma City, the Thunder are now back on their home floor. It was something very interesting that I heard. Of course, we know that the Thunder haven't lost back-to-back, playoff games and things like that. But now this series is a best of 3. So what happened in the first 4 games are not going to matter as we go on into this series, whether it's six games or 7 games. It's going to be who plays the best in these next 3 games, possibly. The next, pretty much game 5 is going to tell a lot about who's going to have the advantage going into game 6. So we know the Thunder are going to be on their home floor. Those fans are going to be rabid. It's going to be an insane atmosphere in game 5. And I can't wait for it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Who do you think has the upper hand now in this series? Do you guys think it's the Thunder going home, or do you guys still think the Pacers have an opportunity to win this series? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell to know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I catch you guys on the next video.